Oh, I knew I forgot something. Okay. Mouth is moving for some reason. Mouth track is not the greatest, but it's fine, whatever. Oh, hello. Why is my controller not fucking working already? I can tell the IO is not... I think I messed up with the IO setting. Getting started with this. Too late now, unfortunately. You are not working for some reason. What the fuck, controller? There we go. Oh boy. Hello, I am Manji Dragonfly. Today I am a cookie because it is December. I did not mention it in the tweet. So I kind of forgot to do cookies. So it's December. I got this nice cookie model. I did not set so. Whatever, I can. That's all stuff I'll fix later. I'll fix it later to reflect the fact that well, I did set the cookie redeem stuff up, but yeah. It's December, I want to stream with the cookie model since I actually completely forgot to use this pretty much at all last year. I did not use it until, like, January. I only used it, like, one stream to make up for the fact that I did not use the cookie model ever. Today, I'm going to be using it for all my December streams, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know how many December streams I'm going to be doing because this could very well be the last stream I do for a little while. I'm thinking I'm going to might take the rest of December off of stream. I say that, but part of that's because I'm kind of brainstorming a different idea for December, but that's not here or there right now. Right now we're here to see if we can finally bring Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve to a close. You know what? I know exactly what I can do. Yep, there it is. Cool. Now I need to, like, actually set that correct. It's gonna look real bad otherwise. Come on. I can't even put this now I think about it. It's not really a fantastic place to put these credits. Hey, the background didn't even... Oh, I know why it didn't even show up. There we go, much better. back room. I don't know exactly why it looks different. Oh well, whatever. Whatever, I've officially put too much effort into something I should have prepared beforehand. Doesn't even look 100% right. But that is going to bother me. Oh, things we should have done beforehand. Alright, enough of that. Enough of this. I've wasted too much time on this. We seem to have... We've got him, but he's definitely got the judiciary swayed. Is everyone swayed? There's really only one path left open to me. Yes, as I know only too well. Only thing that carries any weight in court. Hard evidence. But Mr. Naruhodo, what evidence is there to use at this stage in the trial? I have an idea. I don't know whether anything will come of it, but if there was ever a time for using this particular item we have among the evidence, it's now. Our backs against the wall. He's got the whole world rallied against him. We've reached the end of the line. Seems to be a dead end. If you don't do anything now, he's going to get away with it all. Well, we've been told if we ever find ourselves at a dead end.
Take that!
My! Yes, Mr. Sholmes asked if you had that with you earlier. You've exposed all of Lord Strongheart's wrongdoing now. I've no doubt that Mr. Sholmes had already deduced exactly how the truth would unfurl. So I think it must be time for the great detective to take center stage, don't you? Yes, absolutely. Let's take the hair by the ears then. And heave! Alright, here it goes! Heave! Ow, 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 ow! My dear fellows, must I remind you every time? A gentle tug will suffice. Mr. Sholmes! You're looking quite the wrong direction, Mr. Naruhodo. Because I'm over here! Oh. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo! He's... What? What? It's Mr. Sholmes! Why are you a hologram? I wasn't expecting you back, Sholmes. Delighted to be here again. Lord Strongheart, when did you get holograms? What? What is the meaning of this? Bailiff, seize him! Put that man in irons! This is a closed court! You've been warned once already, man! What the? We can't kill all of them, my lord! What the fuck? What the fuck? I love the little chick, but what the fuck's with the holograms? That was the thing before? Maybe a teleportation device isn't so outlandish after all. What the fuck? We just go right through him. Look at him. Look at him dance. Just let this play out for a little while. It's so ridiculous. I love it. I just want to watch this. That's gotta be a gift somewhere. That has to be a gift somewhere. I'm afraid your efforts are wasted. You see, the great detective you see before you is composed entirely of light and shadow. An image, if you will. Fucking holograms? What the fuck? Like, how would we go from, like, yes, an instantaneous kinesis machine? That's ridiculous. That's bullshit. That's not real. And now it's like, oh yes, I just have hologram technology. Casually. Mr. Naruhodo, I must congratulate you on your fine deductions. Wait, controller. Mr. Schultz, what on earth is... Are you familiar, I wonder, with the invention known as the telephone? Oh, don't you even... Well, yes. I hear that some public telephones have been installed recently in Tokyo. Now the speaker's voice is converted to an electrical signal and transmitted instantly to another place. You're not explaining this away by being like, it's like a telephone! Great! Sounds are transmitted! So could that images keep them company and amused? Oh my fucking lord. Iris and I did some Moz experimentation about such a device specifically for this very day! Was there even a hint of foreshadowing to this? Moz experimentation, Mr. Sholmes? What Moz description? And somewhat incidentally, I thought we might just as well transmit an entire scene! Somewhat incidentally, Mr. Sholmes, they just being immodest! Do you mean to say you're not actually here, Sholmes? I knew my trusty partner would have no trouble grasping the concept. Except he's grasping the sand to save himself after your shock arrival. Poor father. Would have hoped he might have been forewarned, being the great detective's great partner. Leave my courtroom at once! Get out! Or I swear to you! Dear me, you on the other hand, Lord Strongheart, appear to have a very poor grasp of the situation. Allow me to reiterate. I am not here, which would, I hope, lead naturally to one asking, where exactly are you? The very question I was awaiting. I am at present enjoying the air in a rather splendid garden. Garden? Not just any garden, you understand. The garden at Buckingham Palace. What? You can't be. Buckingham Palace! What's Buckingham Palace, Mr. Sato? I've never heard of it. You ever read the news, Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Sholmes? Is Iris with you there? Oh, well no. Iris is currently enjoying some tea. With Her Majesty! Just casually having tea with the Queen of England. Her Majesty? Not just any Her Majesty, you understand? Her Majesty, the Queen of the British Empire. What? What? What is all this about? Buckingham Palace is Her Majesty the Queen's residence in London, Mr. Naruhodo. Order! Order in court! I demand immediate silence! Her Majesty the Queen! You can't be... I mean, no! This is just some sort of unforgivable, distasteful trickery by a third-rate detective, that's all! Unforgivably distasteful trickery? What an apt description. A closed court session attended by elite members of the judiciary is a rare event. I presume that Her Majesty would be more than a little curious about the proceedings. Well, something is up with this wire. But I decided to show her everything, from start to finish. Huh? You showed her? Indeed. What? I did to the Herlock Shoals remote cinematograph. What? You meddling. I know what the word's supposed to be, obviously, but I've never seen it just be like cinematograph. It's always like cinematography. Like, what the fuck? This is some kind of nightmare. Just as I appear to be standing before you, regaling you with talking about my latest invention. No doubt you've inferred that the reverse is also true. You don't mean... Her Majesty has seen and heard every moment of the proceedings. I assume there would be no objection. After all, every trial in this country is conducted under the auspices of Her Majesty, as you know. You. I confess I am quite impatient to hear Her Majesty's opinion about the unforgivably distasteful trickery in which you've been engaged over the past 10 years. No! I was merely... Oh, since I had to keep you all waiting, Vicky and I had so much to talk about. I like the idea just like... Iris is just like, ah yes, me and my best friend, Vicky, Queen of England. Iris, There you are! In fact, I have a little message here from Her Majesty. A message? Well then, if everyone is sitting comfortably. Ahem. Forthwith and with immediate effect, all authority previously afforded to male Strongheart is hereby revoked forevermore. Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial by jury in the coming days. So, it seems that Her Majesty doesn't believe we need to fight fire with fire. Justice in this country need be administered from the shadows at all. Well, Neil Strongheart. Oh yeah, I need a new wire. Darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. After today, your brand of law and order has no future. Because no longer are you the Lord Chief Justice. In the eyes of the law and of Her Majesty the Queen, you are nothing but a criminal! Adjourned! 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 Court adjourned! Oh! Yeah. Break that stick. Wait. Wait, that was already a guilty. Oh. How does that work? Ah! Lord Clint Van Zees left a will in which he confessed to everything. When those words came out of Asogi's mouth, it deranged me completely. I knew I must do anything and everything in my power to contain the situation. I couldn't find the damn document. I searched his cell, but it wasn't there. Which precipitated the jailbreak fly, I presume. What do you mean? The need to obtain that will was all-consuming. I was sure that if I facilitated Asogi's escape, he would emerge with the will somewhere on his person. Despite searching his limp body in the cemetery that night, it still eluded me. It never even crossed my mind. It was concealed in the sword's hilt. Pains me now that my brother left this world without a word to me. Margaret Visions, hello! Thank you for following me, and I welcome you to the Dragonfly Den Guild Closed Court Hearing. We'll see. I'll see after the stream's over. Sorry, Lord Van Zeek. Point of fact, I think perhaps that isn't the case. Sorry? What can that be? There's more to his last will and testament. What? As I confront the prospect of my demise, I feel bitter regret for my younger brother. Eric, who have always looked up to me, now follow my footsteps to become a prosecutor. I fervent wish my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. Ask not for understanding. None can understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness. Sogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. First is that this document survives. Second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. My eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend. It rests my quill. Clint Van Zeeks. Clint. Male Strongheart colludes Seshiro Jigoku in a criminal plot so immense it spanned the oceans. You cold-heartedly murdered all those who knew the truth about what happened 10 years ago. Why did you say about that now, a whole decade later? Was sent to the very peak. These last 10 years made me realize being the Lord Chief Justice wasn't enough for becoming Her Majesty's Attorney General. I could have no real power to affect the changes needed in this country. For that promotion, I need to ensure no remnants of the past remained. How could you? I like everything to run smoothly in the exact manner that I prescribe, like a well-oiled machine. Just a step away. For your ambition to succeed. Did you even bother to count the number of brilliant people you had killed? Ah, Mr. Reaper, are you not forgetting something? Such as... You very much adopted your usual prosecutor-like demeanor in the proceedings now. Well, the reality of the situation is that you are the defendant in this trial. However, the presiding judge would appear to have fallen from the bench, as it were. May I suggest, therefore, that we entrust the final education to an old friend? My lord! As a member of the judiciary, I have been following the proceedings from the gallery. And I must say, I shan't ever forget the extraordinary battle between good and evil that I witnessed here today. The darkness that has bladed justice in our land these past 10 years has at last been dispelled. Thanks, in no small part, to the efforts of a bright young star from the east. Defense Counsel Naruhodo. Yes, my lord! On behalf of everyone here present in the Old Bailey, I give you my heartfelt thanks. You're too kind, my lord! First time I faced you in court was under a year ago now. I had the faintest of intimations? That bridge justice, so warped and twisted over its long history, was finally to no change. This might just be the man to do it. What? By the time, I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge the possibility. I couldn't overcome my hatred of the Japanese after the circumstances of my brother's death. To Naruhodo, allow me to apologize for countless discourtesies on my part. You are a lawyer of boundless talent. Oh, Lord Van Zeeks! I first arrived in Great Britain I was literally a nobody. Certainly not a lawyer. Truth is, my fortunes have entirely been made by the miraculous people I've met. Best friend, Cosmo Sogi, who led me here to Britain in the first place. My loyal and ever-patient judicial assistant, Miss Susato, who helped me study to become a lawyer. The brilliant Lord Van Zeeks, who never failed to challenge his Nipponese rival. Not to mention, the exceptional master of logic and reasoning who showed me the true art of deduction, Mr. Sholmes.
Saving the best for last, Mr. Naruhodo. What a relief!
I'm well aware that without all these people's help and support, I wouldn't be where I am today. Truth is a guiding light that always leads to happiness. I've lived by that principle for a long time now. Actually, it's not true. Truth can also cause great pain, sometimes even leave people on the brink of despair. For that reason, there are those who feel the need to hide the truth. Do it instinctively, even. As soon as we allow our eyes to settle on something other than the truth, the darkness takes hold. And from there it grows, until eventually it makes us blind to the guiding light of the truth altogether. That's why it's my belief that we must all resolve never to avert our eyes from what is just and true. That we can continue to walk the straight and narrow path ahead.
Well, I must excuse myself now. But before I go, Mr. Naruhodo, let me compliment you on your grand opus.
What?
Without your beautifully composed case against Lord Strongheart, Her Majesty would have been unable to act. Thanks to you and your fellows, the haunting undertones corrupting Britain's justice system have been silenced.
Thank you very much.
So, until our paths cross again somewhere.
Also ridiculous.
Well then, it would appear that this long trial has finally come to an end.
My apologies for the anxiety caused, my lord.
I'm quite sure we shall meet again here in the courtroom before long, Prosecutor Barrick Van Zeeks. In conclusion of these proceedings, I hereby declare the defendant, Barrick Van Zeeks,
not guilty. There we go.
That's all. Court is adjourned.
Fourth of November, 4:21 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. It really is all over. Did they sacrifice too much? Naruhodo, I really must congratulate you. It was a truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you. Oh, thank you very much. I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Miss Susato. Oh. Kind words mean so much to me.
It really was a very splendid show, that not Naruhodo. I'd have thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear. You look rather glum.
Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. Probably not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing. Oh well, in that case... Quite sure that when you see Lord Van Zeeks' smiling face, everything will seem much better. I was about to say, he doesn't strike me as a smiler, Susato. Mr. Sato? Everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder. Oh dear, I should have expected as much. I really shouldn't have presumed. Hello. Yes? Almost a year it's been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. You to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today. Well, it's quite remarkable. But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could ever have imagined in court today. I feel as though I robbed you of something you held so dear. What was it he said? Fight those who dwell in the darkness, or as at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just the feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. Made fine work of establishing that fact in court today. Oh! Well, thank you! But magnanimous words! I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face at this very moment if you were here. Kazuma? Okay, come on, Kazuma, you've smiled before. You don't have to do the moody thing anymore. Like, we're done! You're done! Your story is done! Mr. Sato? There's another face like thunder here. Oh my, he really was here. Or Van Zeeks. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal. Congratulate me, or curse me. Fail to bring down the Reaper. What are you fucking talking about? Mail started the Reaper plot! The Reaper is done! No more Reaper! Hell, Assassin is dead! No more Assassin! Sounds like he did! Sounds like it happened! Sounds like it got taken down pretty well to me! I owe you an apology. Don't give some bullshit about how, like, you were the one who fucking did it. Like, come on. No, it is I who should apologize. Your father, Genshin, had been stronger, and perhaps I wouldn't have lost all my money on the gacha. Stop. Stop. No more Genshin jokes! Made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse. And I can offer no forgiveness. That said, suppose you fought for justice and the truth. That, at least, I can withhold respect. Oop. Your words mean more to me than you could know. I will hold them dear. Kazuma-sama. Must say, one thing that's still bothering me. What's that? The will that Lord Clint Van Zeeks wrote before his duel with my father. Though he is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect, he's agreed to honor my final two wishes. First is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. Confess my sins to my wife. We find resolution in my death. My eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend. Rest by Quill. Clint Van Zeeks. What can the second of his final wishes have been? That your father agreed to honor, you mean? I think perhaps... Who? Kodoba? Yep, Kodoba. I might be able to shed some light on that. What? Father! It's 10 years ago, as you know. Day before the execution was scheduled. Went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin.
Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? If you only agreed to it, Sylvierchii and I would gladly petition the government.
Been through this already. Don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Yujin, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance.
You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it isn't, consider it done. Whatever it is, consider it done.
I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once, in secret, and telling no one. You'll find a Lady of the Gentry in hiding there.
Lady of the Gentry?
She's not in a good way. She's with child. Birth is imminent. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're your only hope.
By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin?
Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew. It's his dying wish.
My goodness!
I swore to the man that I would help. I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. If something should happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. The only person I know that I can truly rely on.
What did you say? If something should happen to you? Tomorrow night, you're going to be...
You never know, though, do you? What life will bring.
Alright then, tell me the address. I'll head there at once, with Sylvierchii. No, not with him. Pardon?
The favor I'm asking of you. Only you, Yujin.
Right. I see. Very well then. A very night I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. Found the old house. In the middle of nowhere it was. The old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds. The old woman was on the floor at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. Broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further. It was a torturous birth. They did everything humanly possible for her and child. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. Tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I care to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There's precious little in it. An old travel trunk caught my eye. It clearly been well looked after over the years. They have top quality leather with fine stitching. It was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place.
B for Baskerville.
That trunk, though! No.
Baskerville?
I mean, the one with the wife of Lord Van Zeeks?
That's right. The newborn was his daughter.
But that makes no sense. Why on earth wouldn't Clan have entrusted the child to my care in that case? It's clearly unaware they even had a daughter.
I suppose he didn't really have any choice.
What?
Well, your brother said he confessed everything to his wife. Well, she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, her would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer.
Ah! The only solution: distance the young girl from the Van Zeeks family as much as possible. I don't believe it.
Imagine that as final hour, Lord Clint Van Zees made the obvious choice. To have thought to himself, Japanese man here is someone I can trust. I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan. Without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me.
Oh, how awful.
I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. I asked him if he would be a father to her.
That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume?
Yes. He took one look into my eyes and agreed to it on the spot.
Mr. Sholmes? He has a heart of gold.
Really, all that can be said that I did for the child was to give her a name.
Oh?
When I come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. It was her name that I gave the little girl.
Your wife's name, Professor Mikotoba? In other words... the name of my mother. Ayami Mikotoba. Oh!
What? That's right, Ayame. Or in English, Iris! Ah! This is... whatever, this is still an M. Night Shyamalan-ass twist, but it's leagues better than, like... I don't know, I think it's still, like, leagues better than, like, oh yes, I was the Wilson to the Sholmes, and also Iris's mother. That got a little... I don't know, I think that was a little ridiculous. I don't know. These are both, like, M. Night Shyamalan-ass twists. I'm trying to think of, like, the name. I'm trying to think of, like, Susao's mother's name ever came up at any point in, like, the first game. That might have made this a bit more, like, less out of absolutely nowhere, but...
Iris? I had no idea.
Ouch! No, what's wrong?
This little thing just punched me in the behind through my trouser pocket! Hard!
Oh, my dear fellows, can you hear me?
Mr. Sholmes, is that you? Ah! Yes, we can hear you!
You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you! Why isn't that like you could just punch the thing? It just punches the person! What voodoo doll nonsense is this thing anyway?
Mr. Sholmes, we were able to think you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. Your checkmate move is a stroke of genius.
Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It became apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief injustice will require such measures. Funny.
Well, no! Susie! Oh, Iris! I'm so pleased! What a wonderful outcome! Her Majesty Queen Vicky said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews a more delicious tea than you do, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate. Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too.
What? I'm afraid I couldn't.
Reaper of the Bailey, flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again. No, really? Oh, pooh.
But I gave you my word. I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude.
Oh, how lovely. Promise now, I won't let you forget. Bye for nothing. Alright, Iris, thank you for all your help earlier. Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon. One final pinch goodbye, was it?
Is that thing still in your trouser pocket? I'm a little concerned now. Well, I think I'll have to be leaving. Lord Van Zeeks, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Sonara will allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. Believe you saved my life.
Wait, Lord Van Zeeks!
Yes.
What are you intending to do now?
Clearly, I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office.
Oh no!
I intend to publicize the full truth about the professor case. Once that's done, Van Zeek's family will be ostracized completely from London society.
Surely not.
As soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital.
Oh, I see.
Don't be a fool. Oh? Kazuma? Those are the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey. Beg your pardon. Past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now you've finally been freed from this repute. The battle's just beginning, surely. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. Waited a very long time to come to London. I'm properly here. I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, bye for now. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Kazuma Sohi. Seems as though he's been really Seems as though he's really matured suddenly. Not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo. Hmm? Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. We must! It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. Fourth of November, 6:25 p.m. Jones is sweet. I'm home! Ah! Ah! About time we got ya! We've been waiting, oh! We've been waiting ages, oh! What are you doing with that colorful piece of history? It's a party, isn't it? Gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. When you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think. Wow, we getting that Venus callback. Damn. Right, I'll remember that. No. You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak.
Hey, must hear this is quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikodama.
Ah, the world-famous great detective, regaling his partner with a tale of his adventure. Sight to behold.
Would you care to hazard a guess? Where he's supposed to Phoenix Runaway has concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found Ben in his cabin. I would believe it, yes. I say, Mikodama, I detect out here a surprise. I was there. I wonder why that is, Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Sholmes. What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't you say so before?
Not quite the same I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Mikodama, I'm finally back from the Bailey.
But not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Mrs. Sato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Sato looking so happy in a very long time.
Ah, Luno, there you are. Dinner's on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Haven't filled my boots. Goodness, is that really true, Gina? Yep, I'm losing my copper's clobber and going back to what I know best. The dad of his life for me. No, come on! You're leaving the police force, but why, Ginny? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh. Anyway, no matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a die-return dick, is he? Is he? Well, people can change, you know?
Ah, yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence.
Eh? It's the inspector's pocket watch! The crown's been reattached!
That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements in Scotland Yard. 10 years without fail, measured every second of the man's remarkable career.
Now, stopped. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Grayson's career alive. By taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again. Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. Gotta be me! There ain't no one else! Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss! Yes, Jenny, he was! Oh yeah, and I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man. Oh! Ah, that's sad. I'll do it, and I swear, I'll find you, Dad, bring him kicking and screaming.
Does Iris know, though? Does she know, chat? I'm not entirely sure. That would be appropriate.
Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well, I think I'd like you to forget that promise, Ginny. Eh? Iris?
Does she know?
Well, obviously, I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. Wanted to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out. For so many people. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey.
Oh, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe me no apology. Really, you owe no apology to anyone.
But anyway, I've decided to give up on it. Because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Would you agree? Hurley?
With every word, Iris!
Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy.
I ask again, does she know? I think we could have. Yes, Sholmes. I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh? For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. During that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. A moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. I should never have experienced it were it not for you. You old softy, Sholmes. But I must confess, it's a way off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say?
Oh, well, the food would go cold, that's the only problem. Maybe next week, Harley.
Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris?
Long enough? You didn't miss the most troubling of cases. You're reeling from the most shocking of revelations. During the evening to this suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. Home of the world's greatest detective. My home too, with my greatest family. Fourth of November, 9:37 p.m. Naruto's legal consultancy.
Please tell me this is where we get to.
That room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. I think now, time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Naruto. Oh, Professor!
Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susao's room.
Yes, Susao's went out after dinner. Took a carriage. Think about an important matter she needed to take care of.
Ah, I see. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier.
Oh?
Iris, I mean. Her father came up.
What a clean Van Zeeks.
I made my mind years ago never to tell her who her real father was. Agreed with Genshin. We'll agree with Genshin after all.
Proclaim Van Zeeks' final wishes before you die, you mean?
Yes, I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Like Susao back to Japan 6 months ago, for example.
That's why?
I read Soseki-san's report about his final days in London. My heart nearly stopped. I stumbled across the crux of that terrible case. The dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt.
Baskerville?
I decided to investigate that insignia. Sooner or later, you'd have made the connection to the Van Zeeks. To make matters worse, Susao knew of the published story as well. A story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time.
Ah yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Exactly. It's a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susao might arrive at the truth. But I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in the aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating.
I see. But I've never understood why Susao-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris' The Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean.
Sholm sent it to me. That was before Susao left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I read it and carelessly left it on my desk. This is where Susao came across it, of course.
Ah!
It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much of it from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript I posted to Sholmes for safekeeping.
You did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father?
That's right. Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted.
Oh?
I think at some point in the future, time will come for Iris to know the truth. When it does, well, I believe it will be for the best.
I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too.
Judging for that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you?
Yes, I have. We'll be returning with you to Japan.
Are you quite sure?
I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended.
He was originally intended to kill someone!
Suit Naruto doesn't really have a right to say a thing.
He was sent here to study law as a defense attorney. He's prosecuting now. You didn't even return his fucking armband! Don't give me this shit, Ryunosuke.
I see.
Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. Kazuma, Susao-san, and Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Till today. Staying in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind.
I just realized it's the little mouse doing like a... It's the little mouse striking a little pose. I think the little mouse has his hand on the sword. That's neat. I like that.
I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. At the end of it, I finally realized. No one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself.
Path of the defense lawyer, eh?
Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. That's a path I'll be following for the rest of my life.
Well, it sounds like you've made clear resolution there.
I have!
Very well then. I must say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow. I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days.
Now the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame.
Never mind. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Sao-san! I want to let you know I'm back. Did you, your father and I were discussing? Sorry, I did. Yes, I couldn't help but... Oh! How much did you hear? Well... from the part about Iris' real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. You've made up your mind? You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer. Ah! Yes! I'm sorry. I really should have consoled you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you'd already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that's what you decide, Naruto-san. You did? Susao-san? Ah, yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. He'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. Certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. Do my very best. Wish I could say it I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Bryn as Kazuma's assistant. Growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes! You're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. Really were quite splendid in court today. If you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute as a locum should be ashamed of themselves. Sao-san. Thank you. November, 5:42 a.m. Wharf Dover, Quayside. I can't believe this day's finally come. You're really leaving then, Bruno? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course, I promise.
Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while.
I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris, you do that.
Oh?
Susato-san.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
I can't tell if she's supposed to be here in person or if she's supposed to be hologram. She feels like the lane feels a little off. Like I feel like I want to say she's here in person, that we're not just doing the hologram bullshit again, but the lane feels off for some reason.
Sorry?
Ryunosuke.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
I hate that you're still in that dumbass suit. I fucking hate that. I miss the old uniform so much. I miss the headband flowing in the wind where there's no wind.
To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Ah.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
Idiot!
I'm going to become a prosecutor.
Thanks, Controller. Thank you for shaying out right now.
I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
Give it to me.
I'd
Give
like
it to me.
you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karuma? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me, the demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san? The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
What? I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Ziek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Stop!
Ah! What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it anyway. If he says no, oh well!
It is?
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
This is all just a formality.
Bruno! Your ship's about to leave!
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword.
We're fighting right here now! Actual anime cutscene. Hell yeah. Wait.
One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await, as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country. What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes, would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
I thought that was going to be the objection.
The ship,
I don't know
with our
why.
friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes's face was alight with joy.
The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So, I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
objection!
Until we meet again, Bruno.
There we go. Great Ace Attorney finally comes to a close. I've been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematograph since that day, but no purveyor of electrical goods and want to promise closed court secrecy. Anyway, I've decided absence from London is in order. A searcher in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps. I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever. God damn it, Sholmes, no! I gave a little note to Harley the other day. It said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." It made Harley cry. I gave him some lotion in a minute as well. To dye his hair red safely. They said that might make him cry too, so you'd rather not use it. Some things never change, I suppose.
those days, when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, and retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. Darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too are no more. The words of a young foreign friend of mine, a stride forward toward a brighter future.
Boss left a note for me, you know. I can read every letter now. A to Z, the whole lot. Clear a lot of stuff up. Boss was trying to protect me, see? And that's exactly what me and Chief Inspector Toby are gonna keep doing for Londoners. I wish I could have said how grateful I was before he, you know. Tina, truth is, I'm not the upstanding fellow you think I am. It might be a diver at heart, but a good heart. Remind me I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to take care of before it's ta-ta to London town for the foreseeable. And then, I've got a complete education in the art of detection a la Gregson, as they say. I think that's a new spray. I don't remember seeing that, like, slight smile. I like it. I'm so sad we didn't get to see that at any point beforehand, I think. I might just not remember it. But still, Gregson. Your Excellency, this man accused of illegal entry in the office of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Objection! A legal overstatement! Overruled, the Minister has been detained in prison anyway! This is cash counts for defense, and women forbid to enter the courtroom! Oh really? My friend's success in this British courtroom all the time, and doing a wonderful job!
Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team.
Against Ouchie? Nah, you're fine. You're perfectly fine, my man. Oh, I'm so sad you only got, like, one case in this game. It makes sense why you only got the one case, but still. Also, why are you back to your clothes from case 2 of the last game? What the fuck? Mama, is it true about Japanese people? The experts at filleting corpses.
Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole.
I like to hone my own filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama?
Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I?
No. And I'm glad.
Aww. I'm a little sad we only got, like, the one case with Sith. I think she would have made for, like...
I'm honestly surprised that he only had her be a one-off character. Here I am again in Great Prison on the invitation of my dear university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd like to show me around now that everything was settled. But what have I done? I was like, say I picked a splendid hotel and I can't afford the bill. Oh, Barrack! Could I rescue again, please? I wish I could just vanish into thin air sometimes.
You poor soul. Everyone, like, doubted you. But now it's like, yeah, holograms are real. Why can't teleportation machine ever be like...
I went to make the waxwork impression of the kill in the cemetery. I realized what had happened. But even the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there is nothing we Tuspels would not do.
God damn it. God damn it. Of course.
Everyone calls me gossip. I saw jaunty little tidbits passes by, you know. No! Everyone calls me a pepino! I still have the spaghetti! It's more redder than I had.
Everyone, they call me None, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous.
Oh, Daly, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see.
Yes, when we release, we're all going to get rich together. No, not with them!
This is not the Ashley Gray and the Skulkin Brothers sequel I wanted. This... Get them out of here. Poor man's Skulkin Brothers. I was accepted on the foreign study tour. I knew exactly what path I had to take. However it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you there to see it. I ended up in the dock. So no one would have rather had defending me. I'm honestly surprised we didn't get Cosmo in the dark, but now thanks to you, the new path I want to take. Sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Karuma in your care. Now that I've already broken it, it's yours now. Thanks, buddy. I've made some tea, Naruto-san. More that you rest while you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delayed to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by a great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney. Roll credits, some might say. We just had to get that in at least once, huh? Yo! The Daruma dog got the eye! Hell yeah, I'm satisfied. That's nice too. Alright. Now the real credits are rolled. Now the proper credits, without the interjections, are rolling. So now... Oh, hey, remember Ryotaro? I'm honestly shocked that that was just a one-and-done deal. I thought for sure that that persona was gonna come back at some point during the end, but nope. Guess not. Woo! It's been a long-ass journey indeed. Wild to think that, like, I started the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the first half of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, a year and a half ago now. Oh my god. Finished that up in December, not counting the extra escapades episode, which really didn't actually have any real input from me, so I guess really we could have skipped the escapades, but whatever. This is a nice little thing to see, I suppose. Started up the second game, technically the second game, the second half, whatever you want to call it, back in April. Ooh, that took a lot longer to get through than I thought. I don't know what it is, like... Zeki, what the fuck are you doing? It feels good. Feels good to finally take this one off my list. I've been a fan of the Ace Attorney series for... Well, not quite the beginning. Definitely not the beginning. I only picked up the series, sometime while I was on... when it got, like, to the WiiWare thing. Remember WiiWare? Oh, I miss them. I miss that, so... Now if you want to get, like, the original trilogy, your best bet is to get the compilation re-release. Oh, these fucking three jokers. Oh my god. Now the best way to get into the Ace Attorney series from the very beginning is to do the compilation re-release, and I kind of have issues with the compilation re-release. I don't like some of those sprites. I don't think some of those sprites look that great. Especially the judge. The judge's beard, the trilogy re-release, the HD re-release is, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. I think, like, Ace Attorney Investigations was the first game that, like, first game that came out, like, new when I was into the series. Because I know that Apollo Justice was already out by that point. So I've been around since the DS days, but like the very end of the DS days, basically. Nice to get to experience this, like... Thing is, I'm kind of bad about, like, now looking at spoilers, so a lot of times, even though I play the games, I already kind of know, like, exactly what's happening. This game, I didn't know a whole... Okay, so there were a few things, unfortunately, I did kind of get spoiled about. Some of it is just because people on Twitter are absolutely awful at hiding spoilers. Some of it's just because I'm a little incorrigible. But for the most part, generally, I did not know exactly what was going to happen in this game, so it's nice to mostly experience this without any real clue of what's actually happening. Though, it does lead to some awkward bits where I probably struggle a hell of a lot more than I should. Case 3 in this game is going to fucking haunt me. Honestly, taken together, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is really good, but I know that... Well... Problem, of course, is that, well, you kind of have to take them together. I think there's a very good reason that, unlike a lot of other, like, modern-day compilation re-releases, you can't get these games separate. This is a package deal through and through. You absolutely cannot play one or the other without... You absolutely cannot play one or the other. There we go, the Risen Resolve. Completion of the final chapter of the Great Ace Attorney 2. I can officially say that I'm done, but I've still got some time to kill. We might as well, like... Might as well see what else we can do. Well, I know one thing I could do that's very obvious. I'm still missing a few accolades. One of which has kind of baffled me is the Herlockian. Let's see if I can get that now. Examine the blackboard and Shrubs' suite with Susao and Iris having heard the Wilson topic in episode 4 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. I'm gonna see about getting the rest of these accolades real fast. Wait, what am I doing? This is in episode 4. I just don't remember what point you get the Wilson topic. I guess we can also use... Oh, it's legitimately just faster to do this. I guess we can also make use of the story mode thing, but... This is gonna take a while, isn't it? It's gonna take a long-ass while. I guess one thing I'll start bringing up is that I actually did, like, do a little bit of reading up on, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, like... in the days leading up to this. I actually did learn a few very interesting things about Great Ace Attorney Chronicles that I wanted to mention. One of which, so this game has a story mode feature. I think any Ace Attorney fan worth their salt will look at it and just immediately stick their nose up to it. Like, I'm pretty sure I did. I know for a fact Jake and Lamp did. Oh, there we go. So yeah, like I said, story mode. Any Ace Attorney fan worth their salt will probably, like, immediately stick their nose up to it. Like I did and Jake and Lamp did. But, fun fact. Turns out there's kind of a reason that story mode exists. Sort of. So, fun fact about story mode, it's actually kind of a debugging tool. Let me see if I can find the things. I actually did bookmark a few things regarding this. I'm hoping that this will not kill my bitrate or stream or whatever. Yeah, here we go. From theaceattorney.com, Great 1 2 yes, blah 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 blah. I'll link all the things I found, like, in the description of the YouTube video. So the thing about story mode, so originally they only planned to implement the staple of the modern visual novel genre, autoplay mode, into the game. They did not plan to do story mode. But like I said, story mode actually is a debug function. The reason that story mode got added as an actual proper feature into this game, because the producers asked for it. So they wanted to add a feature to be used as a selling point. So this is not the only thing they asked as a selling. This is not the only time they asked for an extra feature to be used as a selling point, and this came fairly late into the project, apparently. It came late in the project. They didn't get any extra money, and they didn't get any extra staff. One other thing you should also know about the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, really for that matter, actually this kind of also extends to the second game. They kind of got fucked on development. So here's the thing about this is gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever. I just let it play out like this. I need to find, like, the actual investigation portion. Oh, no, I know what it is. Hold up. Might actually be just in the opening, because I'm pretty sure you start off in, shows this plays. Oh my god, there's no good way around it, is there? They're really bad about segmenting the chapters in this one. I might have to just do the accolade hunting off stream, but anyway, yeah, I was talking about the development of the Great Ace Attorney and how it kind of got a little tumultuous. They did not get, like, a whole lot to work with for development of this game, unfortunately. That's kind of a remnant of the second game, because they actually did have, like, I think they were finding, like, development stuff for, like, the first game, but unfortunately the first game didn't do super fantastic. So here's the problem. So I kind of talked about before how you kind of have to take these two games as a package deal, and they pretty much very intentionally made it so you have to take the games as a package deal. The thing is, though, is that obviously, while we in America and, well, really, I suppose all Western countries, I don't know, like, about the PAL release or whatever, but, like, outside of Japan, everyone only got this game after the two games were included as a compilation bundle pack re-release. Obviously that wasn't the case in Japan for a while. Back in 2015, they released the first game, and you had to wait 2 years before the sequel came out. And you might have noticed that the first game, while it certainly got some merits, yeah, they do a lot of setup, and they just don't really pay it all off. I think Lamp, like, levied the criticism against it, that, like, if you play through just the first game and you didn't have the second game, if you didn't know about the sequel, which Japan wouldn't have gotten for which again, Japan did not get for 2 years, it's not a full game. Even though, like, even though the first game honestly does have some major pacing problems, it takes a long-ass time. Even though it feels almost twice as long as a regular Ace Attorney game, it simultaneously feels like half a game. Because they do a lot of setup, especially in the last 2 cases. They do a whole lot of setup, but in the end, it's, you know... They do a lot of setup, but it's ultimately in service of the sequel, which for 2 years was not a thing. Japanese players took notice, and they were not happy. The critics who reviewed the game generally liked the game, but the general fan base absolutely hated the first Great Ace Attorney game, or rather, Daikyaku Saiban. In fact, the game actually got review bombed due to the fact that it felt like an incomplete game. The narrative was ultimately incomplete. The end result is that the worst reception for the fan base means that it got a little worse off on sales than other Yakuza Saiban games. So when they got to developing the second game, they got slashed hard. They got slashed on their budget, they got slashed on staff. I think, like, the producer of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles compilation and the first game was, like, removed from the second game, or was removed from the original production of the sequel game. And like I said, yeah, they got their budget slashed hard. I've been complaining a lot about how this game, like, does not have like voice lines for characters even when they do the objections or the holdits, unlike the first game where they all got voiced, even by like otherwise nothing characters like Pop Windabank or Skulkin Brothers. That's not a thing. Even so, Seki pulls out an objection in this game, it's completely silent. Yeah, no, that's because they got slashed. The budget got slashed. They could not do it. Another thing that I didn't really make mention of, but you might have noticed there's a hell of a lot less anime cutscenes in, Oh no, when was it that we get, like... Stupid, I can't believe I'm trying to, like... I think it was an episode 4. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, they got slashed in the budget and staff for the initial development of the second game. I kind of feel bad because the thing is, the thing is that, like, the game wasn't actually supposed to be 2 separate games, from what I understand. Like, the thing is that Shitakumi was super excited to do this game. He was super excited to make a Ace Attorney game featuring Sherlock Holmes, or as we got him, Herlock Sholmes. So the end result is that he wound up doing, like, way too much with the, he wound up doing way too much with the project. He tried to stuff far too much stuff in. Eventually, like, it just came to be too much, and... Oh, hold up. It's like the end of the game where you... No, it's the end of the game when you go to the, you get actually stabbed in the house, isn't it? Hold up. This is stupid. I can't believe I'm wasting my time on trying to get this stupid Achievo. But it could be actually... Ugh. New office, come on. It's gotta be new office. I think from what I understand, Chutakumi wanted just one big game, but they wound up running out of development time. They had to make the decision to kind of cut it into two. And I think, like, the stress got to him so badly that he wound up, like, actually getting sent to the hospital, I think it was. Let me see if I can find that bookmark. But that's a story mode for now. Let me see if I can find that bookmark, because that came from an interview that Chutakumi had with the gaming magazine Famitsu back in November of 2021. It was for the series' 20th anniversary. Yeah, cause reading from a translation of the Famitsu interview. Okay, yeah, no, I need to go a little earlier than that. So, yeah, no. So according to Chutakumi, okay, I gotta fucking go back. Oh my god, this is too. Oh my god, this is such a waste of time! Fuck! This is a bad idea. I should have just made this a just chatting. Okay, while that's going. According to Chutakumi, it doesn't matter what the game is, it always turns into an ordeal. Especially Gyakuten Saiban 4, Call of Justice, and Gyakuten Saiban, Great Ace Attorney Adventures. They put even more pressure on me than normal as they were turning points of the series. Gyakuten Saiban in particular was dramatic. The concept was creating a new Gyakuten Saiban, and we welcomed Sherlock Holmes, a character I had loved for a long time in the franchise, so I became too ambitious. I came up with the overall flow of the story in the first 6 months, but I just stuffed too much into it. Near the end of the development cycle, we faced painful situations that, due to scheduling issues, we had to cut the story up because it was far too much for one game. I could feel that hit right in my stomach, and I was actually admitted to the hospital twice. And then, another thing that was interesting from that same interview, once at the end of the development cycle of Gyakuten Saiban, and once at the end of the development cycle for Gyakuten Saiban 2, which is, say, Resolve, I was released from the hospital both times. But as a result, Gyakuten Saiban had to be split into two games. Yeah, Gyakuten Saiban had to be split into two games, but it allowed them to work out the story into something greater than originally imagined. So yeah, Great Ace Attorney was not supposed to be two games at first. They literally ran out of time and had to split into two games. But the other interesting thing is that also in that same interview is what he said immediately afterwards. Because the game got split into two games, and because he basically got to, you know, have extra years to write out the second half, that meant, in Shutakumi's words, like, it allowed me to work out the story into something greater than I had originally imagined. And there are also parts I changed greatly due to the fan reaction. For example, a plotline that a few things are redacted here, but the interviewer says, huh, so that means that reappearance hadn't been planned from the start. It wasn't in the original plot. We had to go through a lot, but thanks to everyone on the team, I think we ended up with something even better. Also, that's 100% not where I get the damn Blackboard discussion. Oh my god. Oh my god, what? Controller, what is wrong with you?
I'm gonna check one more thing, but I don't get it here. I'm gonna say fuck it and not bother with this. I've wasted too much time on this and it's kind of distracting. Yeah, no, fuck it. Fuck it at this point. I'll do the stupid, like, Achievo hunting off screen, or I'll leave, or I'll just not even do it, and that'll be, like, what I do if this game ever comes up on the cookie. Fuck this. This is a colossal distraction. I cannot focus. Let's look at some of the pictures. Birds of ambitious dreams. Since there are already commemorative group photos at the end of each game, it's not to avoid the same thing. What am I doing? Why am I reading this? Yeah, there's all these portraits. One thing that's interesting is that there's also this moving pictures, which seems to be little movies. Great Special Trial 2017 featuring Phoenix Wright. These are things you know what, I'll leave these alone. That'll be the thing I watch if this ever comes up on the cookie, or I'll watch it on my own, either or.
Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great...
Okay. This isn't even all of them. This is definitely not all of them. I mean, I guess these are instrumental. I was hoping this would be more like, hey, you can listen to all the game's music in here. I do not see... I was hoping to see Greggson's theme, the detective theme in here, but nope. Does not look it. Here, we'll put this on instead. Alright, enough distraction. So yeah, like I was saying before, the most interesting thing is that apparently certain plot elements were changed due to fan reaction. From what the interviewer and Takumi were saying... From what Takumi and the interviewer was saying, it seems like, even though it's redacted, it's pretty clear what they were talking about. That reappearance had been planned from the start. It wasn't in the original plot. They're almost certainly talking about Kazuma, yeah? They gotta be. Which means that during the original development of the first game, before they, had to do some cutbacks and before they, had to re-review the script, Kazuma wasn't supposed to come back. Kazuma was supposed to stay dead, which, goes a very long way in explaining why there was probably no foreshadowing at all in the first game that Kazuma wasn't actually dead. Because he fucking was dead! They just rewrote it because because the fans were like, no, we love Kazuma! Which, I don't know how I feel about that. This is certainly not the first time something like this has happened. I'm also a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. A similar case happened with Kingdom Hearts 2. One of the characters, Organization 13 member Axel, was supposed to have just straight up died during the prologue of the 2. They wrote that in, but then they decided that, but fans love Axel from Chain Memories. They absolutely adored him, so the end result is that they decided to, give him another last hurrah. And now in Kingdom Hearts 3, we literally have a scene where Axel rants at the villain about how he's effectively immortal because he's popular. No, actually, Kingdom Hearts is a wild-ass game. I'm kind of simplifying it, but that's basically what happens. You can trust me on this. You can totally trust me on this. I'm a total Kingdom Hearts expert. Don't ignore the fact that I have never played the mobile games. Ignore the fact that I have, ignored, a quarter of, the supplementary
call them supplementary let's faces, they're all fucking important. Another fact, I've ignored a bunch of like the little games like Recoded. I've never touched a mobile game. But yeah, no, it sounds like Cosmo was not supposed to come back. Like, most likely, because they did like, because like the thing is that I think part of it was that like, I remember reading somewhere else. I don't remember where it was. That might have just been on TV tropes. I don't want to like take everything from TV tropes as like the gospel. They're generally a good source of information, but sometimes they do pull things out of their ass. It's rare, but they do occasionally pull things out of their ass. Like, the whole reason I found out about this in the first place is because I actually saw it on TV tropes. And I just kind of went looking for articles to, I kind of went looking for, like, actual information to, like, support it. And that led me to find the Famitsu article, and there are even a couple other articles linked in the TV tropes page, so yeah, there's a reason I use TV tropes. I know some people don't like it, but honestly, if you don't like think that hard about like the trope stuff, about the documenting of tropes and stuff, it's honestly a decent source of information, especially when they actually, you know, cite their sources. But yeah, no, It sounds like Kazuma was not supposed to come back. The plot elements about Kazuma, namely the fact that he was supposed to be an assassin, sounds like they might have been in the plan somewhat, maybe. But it sounds like he was not supposed to come back. Presumably there might have been a different Masked Stranger, but like between the fan reaction to Kazuma, them wanting to bring back Kazuma, and the fact that they kind of did get their budget slashed, they probably decided to just like wrap Kazuma into the dude so they can save on some costs. Trying to see, because I have a couple other things. Yeah, I pretty much talked about it all. So the third thing is I was talking about how the producer actually got taken off the development of the second game because reaction was bad. So while the second game did get a much better fan reaction, unfortunately the damage was done. Unfortunately, the damage was done by that point. People were already kind of burned on the first game, feeling incomplete, so when the second game came out in Japan, people weren't super enthused. They weren't very trusting of the series anymore. The end result is that, I believe from what I've read, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, or Daikaku Tensaiban 2, I should really be calling it since I'm talking about the Japanese version, still remains as the lowest selling Ace Attorney game in the franchise. Unfortunately, the effects can still be felt to this day. Notice how we haven't gotten a single new Ace Attorney game since that one, because like that was the last like new Ace Attorney game. Every single Ace Attorney thing we've gotten since then, that back in 2017, have been re-releases. Obviously, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles re-release. I forget if the first HD trilogy came out before 2017 or afterwards, but we're now also getting the Apollo Justice trilogy re-release, even though it's not really a real trilogy, but whatever. They've all got Apollo Justice in it, and two of them are kind of his story, so yeah. We'll make that Apollo Justice trilogy. We have not gotten a single, like, actual full-on new game. We have not gotten a, like, proper, like, Ace Attorney 7. Because, unfortunately, you can kind of blame it on Daikaku Tensaiban 2. It just sold really poorly. Again, fan reaction was still good, and, like, nowadays, it's definitely a hell of a lot better thanks to the, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles compilation re-release. Now people can actually experience now people can properly experience the game, and they can actually experience the whole thing, because again, these games, should not be taken as two separate games. They really are like two parts of a whole. Again, I said before, I'm pretty sure that's probably why like the games are re-released together and you can't even get one or the other separate. So they're both re-released together as like one, and they're basically like priced as one full game together. This is not like the Yakuza Remaster trilogy where like you can get all three games separately. This isn't like the Etrianazi Origins collection where you can get like one of the individual ones for only $40 rather than a steep $80, because God, they had some big poor pricing decisions on that one, huh? If you play a Great Ace Attorney game, you're playing them both, because the first game was not meant to be a first game. It was meant to be like one game. And the end result, like, even beyond like the whole like they had to rewrite stuff for fan reaction stuff, you can tell that like they changed a lot. You can tell that like a lot of like Great Ace Attorney 2 was kind of made in part to respond to fan criticisms, because there were other criticisms levied against it. Like, I know like one big thing is that the pacing of the first trial is really fucking bad in the first game. Second case got slammed because it is a like investigation only thing. People love the third case, but it's also like that's also a trial only case basically. So you don't really get like the proper like investigate and then courtroom until like the fourth case. And the fourth case got a lot of slack because people did not like the central twist, the central like mystery behind it, namely the fact that it just wound up being a big accident. It was not an actual murder attempt, it was just one big accident. So you'll notice that like all of the cases outside of the prerequisite tutorial case, of the prerequisite first tutorial case, are all like multiple trial days. And the trials are definitely a lot more bite-sized compared to the first game's like trial segments. Notice how like when they basically revisit case 4 in the second half, is an even though it's kind of the same shtick where no one actually died, it's still like framed as a very active murder attempt, and it still winds up being a very fun like mystery. So while getting much better reaction, and obviously Case 5 did a lot of setup for what would ultimately become the sequel that they had to wrap up a lot of. I know there's a few things I see like criticisms. I know like I've listened to some of Jake and Lamb's criticisms like back like when they like finished the first half, because I did kind of like watch some of that. So, yeah, the big criticism obviously of the first game is that like, you know, it just feels like it's incomplete, which it is like, which again, I feel bad for like parroting that criticism, because it was not supposed to be a separate game. They literally just had to make the tough decision, and unfortunately, it did bite them in the ass in the end. There was like one other thing I want to talk about that was also from another Capcom news type of thing. That might just be other like no, that's like other general Ace Attorney like things. I don't think there's anything specifically related to Great Ace Attorney. There are some interesting things on there, like about one of the arguably more problematic characters of the original trilogy, John Armstrong. I like the one where, like, the whole, like, Cage Drake's Awkward Zombie comic, the fucking Eat Your Hamburgers Apollo, has become literally so well known that, like, Capcom literally acknowledged... Apparently, fun fact, Capcom actually acknowledged the, like, infamous Eat Your Hamburgers Apollo, like, awkward zombie comic in an actual tweet. I just love that. I love that that's gone, like, so well known that even like the even Capcom themselves have, like, acknowledged it. So. Ooh, what the hell? Oh yeah, since I did briefly mention the moving pictures, that also was not in the original plan for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. That was actually another thing that the producer, like, requested to be added into the game. Apparently, like, the story mode stuff, there was, like, some troubles, like, turning it into an actual feature, because again, it was just a debug tool. They had to actually, like, kind of convert it into something that was, like, you know, a bit more proper for the game. A bit more proper to be sold as a, feature. They call it story mode, but apparently it was going to be called auto clear mode, but overseas branch offices were like, no, that's not gonna work. That's not a good name for the West. They were asked to change it. There were other ideas other than story mode, like including Great Ace Attorney mode, in which Ryunosuke would never make a mistake in solving the case, assist mode, in which the game would help players along, and guiding sword mode, in which the game would help players and have a name more in line with the story's setting. I don't know, I wish they went with guiding sword mode, but whatever. And yeah, the moving pictures gallery stuff was also kind of a last minute addition. These games had a bit of a tumultuous, like, development period. It's honestly surprising, like, we did get a package that ultimately taken together is as really good as it is. I do think the second game is overall better because it does ultimately clear up a lot of the plot threads, but I don't know, I do really like... I don't know, like, people don't like it, but I do like how experimental the first game felt. Like, it felt like they were doing a lot of, like, very neat stuff. Like, I absolutely adored, like, the shenanigans regarding, the pursuit mechanics in, the end of the first game. There was nothing really, like, super fun like that in, Resolve, I feel. Like, hell, they even completely dropped... They also, like, completely dropped the jury system at the end of the game? Like, I guess, like, a big part of it is that, like, I think part of it was that they dropped because of the budget constraints. But that's still kind of sad. Like, the jury system was, like, the thing that I feel like made, like, Great Ace Attorney unique compared to the normal Ace Attorney games. So seeing it just kind of gone for the end of the, series. So seeing it just gone for the end of the game was sad, honestly. And again, I really like the pursuit shenanigans of, like, the pursuits, because, like, even though it kind of did start up in, the Professor Layton crossover game, I did think that was, like, a really neat, I think they did, like, a really neat thing with, the pursuit stuff. I liked how, like, experimental the first Great Ace Attorney felt. Like, Great Ace Attorney 2 felt like it was, like, kind of going a bit more back to basics. They were still... Obviously, it was still following up on a lot of stuff, but, like, it still felt a little bit more, like, back to basics compared to, Great Ace Attorney 1. I think it is ultimately better, because, again, it follows up on the plot threads, and the cases themselves are still very solid, but honestly, like, I think Case 3 of the first game is, like, one of the more memorable cases in the series. And honestly, I know Jake and Lamb fucking hate it with all their hearts because of the stereoscope bullshit, but I also think that Case 5 of the first game is genuinely pretty good. Like, the stereoscope stuff is nonsense. I will admit there's an element of, like, since they kind of hyped it up, I feel like my reaction is significantly different than it would have been if I had no clue, if I was just going in there completely, like, I don't want to say blind, because people don't like it when you say blind, whatever. Like, I feel like my reaction to that might have been a lot different if I had no clue that, like, how much they were going to, like, hammer home the stereoscope shit, but honestly, other than that, Case 5 is super good. Case 5 of the first game is honestly really good. Jake and Lambert just being salty over stereoscopes. I'm sorry, it has to be said. I will say, like, I appreciate, like, being, like, we're getting experimental, but I'm glad they only did the investigation-only chapter once. I'm glad they only did that the one time. I don't think it was, like, worth, I don't think it was very much worth, like, giving up on the usual. Case 2 of the first game is so fucking weird now. Even just beyond the whole investigation thing, ultimately, the entire crux of the case is investigating your friend's death, and the second game is like, oh yeah, no, he's not dead at all. So it's like, what the fuck? Especially when you find out that, like, yeah, no, he was supposed to be dead. He probably was not supposed to come back for the rest of the series. He was supposed to get Mia, and people were like, no, but we love Kazuma, so let's bring him back. I don't like that. I don't like how, like, that's a huge change. That's a colossal change to the narrative. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, again, like, I know, like, Kingdom Hearts did a similar thing, but, like, at least Kingdom Hearts had, like, did it in the same game. At least Kingdom Hearts went back on it in the same game. I guess. Like, Kingdom Hearts, the story is silly. They're clearly making it all up as they go along. But, like, with Kingdom Hearts, like, I feel like with Kingdom Hearts, like, the big appeal of Kingdom Hearts is, like, not just, like, the story. There's also, like, the gameplay itself is, like, generally very fun, and, like, obviously there's also kind of this, you can say it's a tourist attraction type of thing, but, like, seeing your favorite Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters and getting to interact with them is also, like, a big thing. With the Ace Attorney series, the story is, like, pretty much the most important part of it. Like, the whole being a lawyer and the gameplay thing is ultimately in service of, like, the mystery and the story, so it feels weird to have, like, these giant sweeping changes, like, years in development, so I don't know, I'm so mixed on it. I do think ultimately it's a fine story, but it's just so fucking weird to think about that there might have been, that we could have gotten a version of the Great Ace Attorney where Kazuma was just dead, and he stayed dead for the whole game, for the entire series. He never came back. I do wonder just how much other, like, changes like that, how many other, like, colossal sweeping changes like that happened, all because they, like, rewrote it, like, partway, like, after half the game had already come out, basically. But no, overall, I say all this, but overall, I still really, really liked Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I think it is ultimately a very good Ace Attorney game. I think it's overall a lot of fun. Even though I am a little salty, some of it kind of did make me salty. I feel like I got saltier at this game than any other Ace Attorney game. Like, fuck extraterritorial rights. I will never be as mad about extraterritorial rights as I will be about that fucking, like, the glass bullshit from the first case. I don't feel right, like, criticizing the third case of 2, because I feel like I was just way worse than usual in that game, but I don't know what it fucking is. Something about that case, like, just completely threw me for 10 loops. I did not perform well. I did not perform super well for, the Return of the Great Departed Soul. I can't explain it. But I'm so glad I got to play through all this on stream. I'm so glad that I got to experience this. I'm still glad that but ultimately I am also very glad that I can finally say I'm done with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I'll collect those accolades in my own time, but for today, I think it's time for me to end. This is just like... Oh, this is just the overall press. This is probably what I should have had as the backdrop to my ramblings. So now that the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is done and over with, what's next? That's great. I love that. Yo! Alright. So, what's next for me? That's because with Persona 4 also done, that's my two major projects for the last, like, 2 years, basically, finally done and over with. So the big thing I'll say is that, like, while I am probably going to do a couple of, like, much shorter games to, I will get into, like, a few, like, much shorter games, but since I'm done with Persona as well, now that I'm done with this, I'm willing to, finally move on to the next big project. I'll do the next big project and also throw in a few, like, much smaller scale stuff. There's already been a couple of, like, much smaller games that I've been wanting to, play through. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that tickle in my throat. Because I'm fully done with... God, I forgot about the hologram stuff. God, I, like, literally immediately forgot about the hologram stuff. That was ridiculous. Like, come on! Like, ultimately the purpose of it makes sense, but holograms? Out of nowhere? That was, like, never a thing at any point! I don't like the fact that, like, we're all like, oh yeah, Aces Machine K3, that's bullshit. That's not real. That's insane pseudoscience garbage. That doesn't exist. That will never be a thing. And then the fucking resolution, the ultimate fucking, like, way that you, like, get Strongheart defeated, is you pull out holograms! Apparently they're good enough, they're well set enough, that you can just show the entire ass trial to the queen? They just could do that? I don't know, that's the one thing about this case that, like, I kind of find myself stopping short on. Like, it makes sense that, like, that's the way you had to stop Strongheart, because he was just in too much power. He was just in way too strong of a position. That feels like they wrote themselves into a corner. Like, holograms? Holographic transmissions? Like, that's just a thing? There's a thing that exists in this version of the fucking 1900s? They had holograms in the 1900s! Herlock Sholmes invented holographic technology! And then the first Ace Attorney game, they're like, yeah, here's black and white photographs! Here's this brick of a phone! What the fuck is with the technology progression? I know, like, Herlock Sholmes is, like, supposed to be, like, this amazing I don't know if it's Herlock or if it's Iris, they're supposed to be, like, this amazing inventors. That just feels so fucked up! That's the one thing about Case 5 that I'm like, that's not the best. I feel like they could have come up with a much better way to do that. I feel like there was a much better way to reach that resolution than being like, oh yeah, by the way, Herlock Sholmes has holographic technology, he just set this all up. Like, what the fuck? Oh, okay. I got distracted into a rant. As I was saying before, Persona 4 is done. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is done. The most I'll ever do with those games now is if they ever come up on the cookie again, I'll, like... For Persona 4, at least, I can, like, do a second playthrough and, like, kind of work my way towards the secret boss. I guess for Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I'll, like, watch the moving pictures stuff? I don't know, I feel like that's gonna, like, land me in hot water with, like, copyright nonsense or something like that. I don't know if that's safe. Nothing else I don't even want to do the accolade stuff, because I want to do that on my own. Because I want to be able to say I 100% Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I don't want to have to wait for it to randomly pop up on the cookie. That could take, like, actual years. I probably won't even be around now. I say that, but at the same time, I'm still here. Like, 2021, I started. I'm still here. Her voice. I have no plans to stop. I have absolutely no plans to stop being a streamer. I've been thinking more and more lately on if I should, like, table the VTuber model, but I'm here to stay. I'm absolutely here to stay. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay. I never really know what goes on. I'm never really 100% sure what's going to go on with my life, and I'm kind of expecting some colossal changes by sometime next year, but my hope is that I get to continue to stream, because I do love this. This is basically what I do on a normal day by myself. It's just that sometimes I get to, like, actually have people to chat with, and that's nice. I like being able to chat with people about the games I love. I like being an entertainer, I think. I'd very much like to keep doing this. Which leads me to what I was talking about before, my next plans. I'm going to try to see about starting up some, like, shorter game series, but the next major project is actually one that... The next major stream project is actually one I've been kind of talking about since even from the very beginning, like, even from, like, the days when I was streaming Cuphead. I'm going to be playing through a certain JRPG series. A long-running JRPG series, but I've never actually touched the series at all. So I want to try out the first game. I bought it, like, a while back. I bought it, like, years ago. I want to play through it sooner, but I was suggested to do a couple of, like, modding things to make it a better experience. That was back when I really didn't have the first clue about modding video games, so I wound up kind of pulling that off. But now that I've actually gotten a bit more, savvy in that regard, I've actually gone and already modded the game, so that's actually all ready to go. I've just been waiting for perfect time to start, and I think that will be happening soon. I'm not going to promise anything I'm not going to promise it starts up this year or even, like... Yeah, no, I'm not going to promise for next week. I'm not even going to promise really even for the rest of the year. There is actually another thing that I want to do. Another thing completely on my own that I want to do. That's going to be a little bit different. I don't know, I'm still brainstorming ideas on that one. I should probably discuss it with Jake, but at the same time, I want to keep it something of a secret. Nothing huge. I don't know, I'm brainstorming something. But yeah, no. As far as stream plans go, I plan on starting up some smaller series. I plan on starting up the next major JRPG series, and depending on what happens with my buddy Jake, I might find myself visiting some familiar shores sometime in the middle of next year. Ooh. Oh boy, that's not even something that I want to think about. Oh. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I think that's enough rambling for me. I could honestly do something else, but I'm gonna see about prepping for a silly little thing I had
knocking around in my mind for a little while now. I'm gonna see about doing that or I'm going to just waste my time. Or I'm going to waste my time playing Caligula Effect 2 and not doing any amount of real work. Because that's the other thing that I will admit, I was like, the reason I didn't stream this yesterday morning, or rather afternoon, was because I got home a little later, and I kind of just wasn't feeling 100% up to it by the time I got back, so I just wound up playing Caligula Effect 2 instead. That's a game that I've considered streaming. Unfortunately, I asked a couple of friends for some feedback, and I never got that feedback, so I don't know, I just decided I'd rather stick to keeping Caligula Effect 2 as a fun thing for myself. Give myself something, like, fun to play on my own. I have been very much enjoying my time with Caligula Effect 2. Maybe if that comes up on the cookie, I'll absolutely turn that into a full series, but for now, I'll just keep that as a personal thing. Alright, I've rambled enough. I'm going to see about finding some fun short things to do for shorter streams. Maybe I'll actually do a demo game. Oh, that's actually, because there is one particular game that got a demo very, very recently that I would love to do. That's part of a bigger series, though, so I don't know. I'm mixed on that. Maybe I'll do some demos. Maybe I'll actually play through some more Etrian Odyssey this year. Maybe I'll just start up like maybe I'll just start up like a very short series in the meantime. I don't know. Like I said, the big thing is I've been brainstorming ideas for something silly, something like small and silly for myself. Something to experiment with, but today I can finally bid Great Ace Attorney Chronicles to a close. Want to see? Oh yeah. Oh, that's the obvious choice. Okay. Let me just go ahead and let's start getting ready to raid. There's the raid message. We are going to be raiding one Sarah Bear. She's cool. She's fun. She is a variety goth bun streamer. I know she was friends with I kind of met her because I know she was actually friends with Jay even before he became a VTuber, so I hung around in her chat a few times. I see she's actually shouted me out a few times, because I guess she likes to shout out other people in other streamers and other pals in chat, so I'm always appreciative of that. I know she's also a big Ace Attorney fan. She's cool. But yes, we're going to raid into Sarah Bear. Thank you everyone once again for watching. Thank you to the VOD watchers. I hope to see you for the next stream, whatever that may be. See you then.